He mihi nui kia koto katoa. The Invercargill City Council is warning people to keep their door closed to individuals posing as council survey contractors.
Council received a call this morning from a concerned member of the public advising she had been door-knocked by a man posing as a survey contractor on behalf of the council. The caller offered to provide identification and council pamphlets. The man was described as overly friendly and, when asked to leave, said he would return later at a time more suitable to conduct the survey. The current survey of satisfaction with council services is being undertaken by phone with no door-to-door inquiries. Police have been notified and council advises members of the public who have been approached to contact either the police or council itself.
A house fire last night in the city has highlighted the need for the safe disposal of hot ashes and embers from domestic heating fires. At 9:20 last night, the Invercargill Fire Service was called to a house on Tweed Street after a passing motorist noted smoke coming from the roof of the house. On arrival, firefighters found a developing fire at the rear of the structure, the blaze caused by what the fire service is describing as careless disposal of ashes. The fire took around 20 minutes to contain, with a moderate amount of damage done to the attached structure. A fire service spokesperson says it's a timely reminder that ashes from solid fuel burners can remain a fire risk for up to 5 days. And during this time, they must be stored in a metal fireproof container with a lid and allowed to cool well away from any vegetation or structures that may catch fire. Local Government New Zealand has honoured former Southland Mayor Frana Cardno with the Skills Organisation Outstanding Contribution to Local Government Award in the inaugural LGNZ Excellence Awards.
Mrs Cardno was one of New Zealand's longest-serving mayors, leading Southland District from 1992 to 2013, and is the longest-serving female mayor the country has ever had. Local Government New Zealand President Lawrence Yule says the Southland community and wider local government sector benefited hugely from Mrs Cardno's work, and her legacy continues to be appreciated within her community. Mrs Cardno, currently in Dunedin Hospital recovering from a recent illness, says the award is a great honour and she is delighted.
There was a final dress rehearsal today at the Verdon College Gymnasium for friends and supporters of the 29-strong Kapa Haka group heading to the national competition in Gisborne next week. The 25-minute routine moves through a range of emotions, reflective, playful and aggression, with several of the songs written and choreographed by one of the group. There's a chant dedicated to the preservation of te reo and a waiata about the sinking and loss of lives of those on board the Easy Rider.
Our waiata tira, our koru, our first item, that is calling out to an ancestor to calm our seas.
The songwriter, choreographer and te reo national speech finalist says it's in his genes.
I love our language, I love speaking it, I love writing stories. It's my passion, and I just thought of all the things in our world and then made up a waiata, and then yeah.
So when you've made up the waiata, are you thinking about how that might be delivered on stage with choreography?
Choreography, all that, yep, the works, yeah.
The confident group of 29 will compete against 42 teams in 3 pools and is the only group from Southland. The group have been practising for just 10 weeks together, but know what it takes to make a winning team.
The whānau bond, just performing as one.
Communication, discipline, respect and being a family.
I noticed a lot of the songs went from softness to the more playful, flirtatious type to more aggression. Is there a method in what you're doing there?
Yes, so there's the bracket is actually goes from the, what was the song called? Our choral, then it goes to an entrance, then it goes to a chant, then it goes to an action song, then it goes to a poi, then it goes to a haka, and then it goes to the feel out.
Today's performance was poignant given it's Māori Language Week, and there's a passion amongst the performers for their native tongue.
This is a Māori country. Everyone born from here should be Māori. They should speak te reo Māori and know their roots.
What are your thoughts about it being made compulsory in schools?
I love that idea. I really love that idea. I think that it should be compulsory in every school, and that's a good idea.
Stay with us after the break. Labor releases its regional development policy and the world in miniature at the weekend. Welcome back. Labor today released its regional development policy, promising to revive the regions with a new $200 million fund. Labor says the money will be used to create breakthrough opportunities for jobs and sustainable growth. Leader David Cunliffe says the regions are the lifeblood of New Zealand, and the party understands their vital importance to growing New Zealand's economy. He added that the party will work with local government, communities and businesses to develop tailored regional growth plans that identify strengths and opportunities for each region, boost growth and create jobs. Kiwis unhappy with the way New Zealand businesses treat them prefer to complain on Facebook and want something in response to their complaint, according to new research. A sixth of those aged 19 to 24 now prefer to use a company's public Facebook or Twitter social media page to complain or shame businesses into action, according to PR Impact. But that choice of medium to communicate declines with age. More than half those 55 plus prefer to speak to someone on the phone about produce or service issues, while just 30% of Generation Y consumers prefer the phone over electronic communications. But complaining in person doesn't come easy to Kiwis, with only 4% of New Zealanders preferring to complain face to face. The International Plastic Modelers Society's Southland Branch Biennial Expo is on this weekend at the Invercargill Workingmen's Club. The theme for this year is Frostbite and a Savage Climate, and features many exhibits and demonstrations. Southland IPMS Branch President Lester Kidd says there will be something for everyone, from sci-fi to rail and everything in between. Hunter Andrews asked Mr Kidd about the recent resurgence in scale modelling.
People are enjoying the modelling because of the huge availability of product and information.
And also you talk about those New Zealand contributions in the First and Second World War. You were pointing out to me, in fact, the tank right behind you there, but there are aircraft as well. You can actually recreate and then research the history of these vehicles and men that either flew them or rode in them.
Yeah, well, this is the thing with the modelling. It's another dimension with it, that you can do the research, you become interested in the person that flew the plane and the history, the likes of the New Zealand tanks in the Pacific and what happened. We have some excellent information on that, and it adds this extra dimension in the interest. It also helps you spend a bit more money on books.
Yes, it can be an expensive hobby if you really want to go that far, but you can just get the old kit like we used to when we were a bit younger and throw it together. There's something for everyone, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. There's all levels of value, and the more you pay, you get what you pay for generally, and of course, if you are in a club, you've got people that know the quality of the kit sets, etc. And so they can advise you on what's the best and etc. And the magazines, of course, do the profiling on the kits as they come out. So you're finding things out about them, and it's up to you. Yes, how much you want to spend, because the aftermarket's huge too. So
yeah, and you can see all that on the internet. And the internet is a very big player in the field, but also there's nothing better than getting together with locals in a club, is there? And let's talk about this weekend. What's happening this weekend in the city?
Well, the Invercargill Plastic Modelers Society, IPMS Southland, we are part of the International Plastic Modeler Society, if you like. There are several branches throughout New Zealand. We are holding our biannual model expo and competitions in the convention centre at the Invercargill Workingmen's Club. Saturday, Sunday this week, 26th, 27th of July. We have various themes going on. The overall theme is a winter theme.
Winter, yeah.
And it covers any sort of model. We had to pick something that will cover the full range because we have people that do the science fiction models as well, so the frostbite, the savage climate is the terminology we're using. That'll be a separate theme tables, of course, and World War I, the 100th anniversary, so we've got a special theme display on that, and the 50th anniversary of Vietnam, where we're commemorating that with a Vietnam's not something that people know a lot about, and so it should be quite interesting for them to come and have a look and see just exactly where things were changing, especially in the aircraft world.
In just over 3 months, the first stage of Southland's Around the Mountain Cycle Trail is set to officially open a year later than anticipated. 6 years ago, the Around the Mountain Cycle Trail from Walter Peak to Kingston was announced by government as a quick start project in the hope of stimulating the economy by creating jobs and attracting tourists. Now, stage 1, an 81-kilometre stretch from Kingston to Mossburn, will officially open in Lumsden on October 31st. The Grade 1 track is suitable for any bike and is described as smooth and fast to ride on. Riders will travel over 5 suspension bridges worth over $1 million and use electronic warning signs worth almost $250,000. Details of Stage 2 are still being finalised, with work starting later this year and is due to be completed by the end of 2015. And that's all from us this Tuesday. Sport follows the weather next. From the news team, good evening.